Your mom comes from the Pacific Northwest, migrates to Hawaii, goes to college there, right away meets a dashing young Kenyan, gets pregnant.
That's me.
That's you. But your dad is gone before you ever become conscious. What did she tell you about your father? What was your impression of your dad as you grew up?
He was gone by the time I was 2. She could have been bitter, but she didn't communicate that to me. She would talk about how smart he was and how generous he was and how charismatic he was. And for a little boy, that's actually a good thing. It was only later in life where I started to stitch his life together where that mythology was toppled.
How did you internalize that?
Some of my drive comes from wanting to prove that he should have stuck around, that I was worthy of his attentions. At a certain point, you get old enough where you realize you can't spend your whole life fighting ghosts. But there's no doubt that his absence had an impact on me, both negative and positive. During my teenage years, I engaged in a bunch of self-destructive behavior. I drank, I tried drugs, I didn't take my schoolwork seriously. And in that sense, when I see young men standing on street corners in big cities around the country, who have probably grown up without fathers in the house, there's a part of me that can relate to them.
You look at a politician and you wonder, why does he need that greater and greater fix, if you will, of running for higher office and therefore getting what is the ultimate sign of approval?
Well, I think about this a lot because the process of running for president is not a particularly attractive one. So,
it's horrible.
My next book may be titled "This is Ridiculous." But, on the other hand, I don't think I could do it if I was just driven by vanity at this point. In part because a lot of those issues of approval were satisfied quite some time ago. The reason to do this at a certain point has to be because you think that you can provide leadership that nobody else can. Because if that's not the case, from my perspective, it's not really worth it. The approval that I desire now is the approval of my kids. It's an interesting, turn in my life where I'm much more concerned about whether my 9-year-old and 6-year-old think I'm a good dad than I am that a crowd of 5,000 people are cheering me on.